Hi everyone, April here. Welcome to my channel. I am back with another review. This is my wrap up of all of the comics, trades, graphic novels I've read for March 2018. It's not a lot, but it was very interesting and very eclectic. So let's just get it cracking. First up, I have the complete series of Alex and Ada, written by Jonathan Luna and the art done by Sarah Vaughan. This is the cover for volume 1. This is volume 2. And this is volume 3. What I really liked about this story was mostly the artwork. I like the minimalistic look. It's very muted colors, simple drawings. I'm trying not to get that shine off of there. And there was a lot of dialogue on some of the pages, like this. But that in part was part of the problem I had with this story. Let me just back up a bit. This is about Alex here. He received an X5 companion android as a birthday gift from his grandmother. To kind of touch on a subplot that isn't quite developed, they had a sentient android prior to this model that somehow went a little cray-cray and started killing everybody. So they shut those models down and rolled back the tech on them, supposedly, and came out with a non-sentient model. So this one, fresh out of the box, is basically a walking, talking, anatomically correct Roomba with some Google Assist. She only mirrors him. If he likes something, she likes it. If he loves it, she loves it. You get it. It gets old really quick, and he has a choice to either send her back, or he's prompted by something he sees on television that makes him think that possibly he could kind of wake her up, bring her sentience, I don't know, is that a word? But bring her kind of to life. So he goes for option number 2, obviously. And this is where I had kind of a problem. The question was why? He wasn't really interested in an android companion. He wasn't really looking for a girlfriend. I get he thought she was pretty, but at this point in the story, tampering with the software of one of these droids is illegal, especially in the sense of trying to make them sentient. That's completely illegal. So he's putting his entire life on the line to wake her up for what? There just didn't seem any kind of impetus for him to do that. It was just kind of like, ooh, let's just try this. So, okay. So he wakes her up. She wakes up. She's, honestly, to me, she isn't much different than she was before. She just kind of reacts a little differently to certain things. But other than that, she still kind of mirrors him a bit, which was a little strange. Also, it never really got to the question or the answer of what she feels about him either. I mean, let's not get it twisted. At the end of it, it's a happily ever after. They end up happily ever after together, yada, yada, yada. But how they got there is still kind of a mystery to me. I don't understand why either one of these people like each other. It just seemed very proximity based. They just happened to be in the same place at the same time. So, ooh, we love each other. But other than that, there was nothing really that happened in here that kind of gave the gravitas to what happens with these two. Because they go through a whole lot for a relationship based on what, I don't know. Maybe that was the whole point. Maybe the point was something else. It kind of missed me. I didn't get it. All that being said, I didn't dislike it. I just felt I think in its entirety, there were 15 single issues to make up 3 volumes. I think they could have gone 30 issues. Kind of stretched it out a bit, flushed out the storyline more so we can get more character development. So when these things happen and we can get an appropriate or at least some kind of understanding of a response, and therefore the end would have much more meaning. But at this point, it was just like, well, that happened. I really wanted to like it. I heard a lot of good things about it. Again, Sarah Vaughan's artwork, I mean, it's really beautifully drawn. I mean, look at the back picture. Isn't that gorgeous? It's beautifully drawn. And there are some details in the script here that are interesting, some plot points that of course mirror our own kind of idea about personhood. I think I say this a lot. I think I have a theme going on with the kind of material I like. But yeah, it talks a lot about that, but at the same time, it's just, there needed to be more. I needed more. Other people may think this is just perfect as is, but I felt it was just a little thin. That's all. So, Jonathan Luna, Sarah Vaughan, Alex and Ada. Okay. Moving on. Next up, we have Superman, Earth 1, Volume 1 by J. Michael Straczynski and art by Shane Davis. I really like this. I picked this up because, of course, Batman Earth 1 Volume 3 is not out, and I was having some withdrawals. So I was like, let's try Superman. And I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it because I haven't really been feeling Superman in a long time. But I did enjoy this. Again, Volume 1 basically is like a rehashing of the origin story, but similar to Batman, it didn't like start from the very, very beginning. It kind of touches back on Clark's past, which is done very sophisticated in my opinion. I like the way they did that. But not just Clark's past on Earth, but Clark's past on Krypton. And also, what I like is that this basically starts with Clark as a young man. I think he's graduated like junior college and he's leaving Smallville and he's going to Metropolis. But there's a little twist here that I've never read before. Clark doesn't immediately go to the Daily Planet and look for a job as like a junior press person. What he does is like go to the local professional football team and tries out. Then, and of course, he looks smaller than his abilities would present to a normal human person. So when he gets on the field, he cuts up and they're just like, whatever he wants, give it to him. So that's checkbox ones. Then he goes to like a corporation, something that's kind of chemical or engineering based, and he proves his scientific prowess there. And of course they want to hire him too. And that's checkbox 2. And Clark's idea of these two things are they would give him a sense of power. He would be a professional football player, probably a star, and he would make a lot of money and he would be able to take care of his mother, Martha Kent. And that's kind of the same thing with the company. He will go there, he would help people in that respect, like he would create things that would probably give him some kind of notoriety, and he would make a lot of money, and therefore he would help Martha again. He wants to be able to provide for her. Jonathan is still gone at this point, his father. So he wants to make sure that Martha is taken care of. But there's something else going on with Clark in that respect. He's also hiding a little bit because he does eventually creep over to the Daily Planet. He does kind of go over there with the idea that, I worked on the Smallville, local newspaper, and I got 2 years of college, and therefore I should be a reporter like Lois. And Perry White, pretty much is Perry White as always, put him in check like immediately. Like, I don't know what hole you crawled out of, but we don't do that here. This is a legitimate paper. You gotta start where everybody gotta start when I don't know you, at the bottom. So take it or leave it, plus you ain't gonna get paid nothing. So the other two would give him a bunch of money to be able to take care of his mom the way he would want to, the way anybody would want to. But the third one is really kind of where his heart is, but of course it won't give him the fame or the money that he would get with the other two up front. At the same time, Clark is kind of riddled with anxiety. He doesn't know who he is at this point. They don't know what his backstory is. They have absolutely no clue as to where Clark's origins are. Therefore, he knows nothing about his life on Krypton or his previous parents or anything like that. So he is riddled with anxiety about not knowing who he is. And also on the other side, wanting to be accepted as one of us. And that in line was kind of like a theme that went through here, because not only does Laura L, is that how you would say his parents' name, L? His birth mom, Laura, and Jonathan Kent they say the same line about Clark's potential future, that he will be one of them, but not of them, which I believe is a line from the Bible. Of course, Laura L never read the Bible, but it was just very interesting that they both said the same comment about Clark. And it just kind of gave a very prophetic kind of sheen to his journey. I enjoyed the book, as you can see. There was a lot to it. I enjoyed the artwork. I think Shane Davis did a really good job. There's some really nice pictures of Clark. Which one? I'll show you this one right up front. I like this. Of course, everybody likes like when he puts on the full costume and he's like, and I'm here. I like that. But what I really loved was there was this page where Clark has made a decision here. And you can see it. You can see it. I love how that is. You can see in the face, I got my fingers over it, but in Clark's face, the detail of the choices. Not many words on this page, but if you've read the few pages before, you know exactly what's happening here. And I really like that. I think that's really good. You know, I love it when the writer and the artist kind of, they have this mind meld where one thing leads to another. I have no idea how comic books are written, but I think this was just wonderfully done. And there is a baddie in here. Again, I think it was very prophetic that he showed up at this particular time, because it kind of pushes Clark to make a choice, but he also is able to make an informed choice because he gets information about who he is. Again, I'm not going to spoil it. It's really hard to spoil Superman. Even though I feel like they did a couple of nice twists and turns with the storyline here, it's pretty much a traditional Superman story to me. Much more so than the Batman Earth one was. This is very much what I would recall from back in the day, a Superman story. It's all about hope and trust and understanding and doing the right thing and being in service to others. I really like this. This was really well done. I think their volume 2 and 3 are also out and available, so I will pick those up. But yeah, I enjoyed that. Next up, Morning Glories, Nick Spencer. Joe Eisma, I believe is the artist. Yes, more crazy. You get more details about what's going on with these kids, but really, really crazy. You get a lot of backstory for some of them, like these two, because it was like, they're two? How'd that happen? We find out it's very CW. I'm not gonna lie. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind the CW show, but this is exactly what this book says to me. It could be on CW Thursday nights right after the Vampire Diaries, and it would slip right in. It's very kind of young, but has this mysticism. I still don't know if this more science future or culty past. It may be a bit of both here. The kids are still going through a whole lot of crap. There's a bit of time travel. I mean, they just threw everything at this book, but I'm loving it. It's well done. I can't lie. It's well done. And Joe Eisma's art is still very pretty. It's very dreamlike. And I think that's very fitting. It's very dreamlike. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, one of these kids woke up and, you know, they're still on the bus going to, what's the name of this school? Morning Glory Academy. I mean, don't do that. Don't do that. I may not be making any sense, but I like it. I think it's fun. If you like a CW show, a la the Vampire Diaries or The Circle, you like this. It's fun. Lock and Key. number 4, Keys to the Kingdom. We're getting close to the end, y'all. I will say this issue kind of shocked me a little bit. No, shock is not the right word. It was just kind of like, So they come up to a situation where they need to change their appearance. And so they do. And they change to a different racial group. And there's all this kind of underlying, very, don't get me wrong, progressive, liberal kind of talk about race, I suppose. But it seems to come out of nowhere. I get it's connected to one of the other, a minor character who we see, I think we saw before very briefly. But at the same time, it's just like, we didn't need none of that. But it was very short-lived and we move on from it pretty quickly. So it didn't like spoil the event for me, but it was just like, nobody asked for that. Just keep with the story. What's going on with Dodge? And we get a whole lot with Dodge. Let's just say his cover is blown and people are coming for him, but at the same time, they don't fully understand who they're dealing with here. So he about that life and he will kill somebody in order to get what he's after. It's good. It's getting there. I'm going to read 5 and 6 together. I just can't take it no more. I'm going to read 5 and 6 together so I can get to the end of it and find out what exactly is going to happen with this story. Oh, did I say who wrote it? Joe Hill is the writer. Gabriel Rodriguez is the artist. Again, Gabriel Rodriguez does a really great job. Let's see if I can find something really pretty in her. Well, not pretty, but crazy. This is one of the events that occurs. They're finding keys left and right. Now, I don't know how many keys are supposed to be in this house, but it seems like it's infinite number of keys. But at this point, I'm about done with this house. As fun as it is about some of these keys, at the same time, I can see why people walked away from this years ago with these kids' father and he moved his family like clear across the country. I get it now. I would have moved my family across the country too. But yeah, this is good. Still good. Writing's still good. Just that little issue. I don't know if... If I wasn't a person of color, maybe I would not have noticed it. But at the same time, it was just like, whatever. Moving on. I'm gonna use this one last. Next up, I read Sex Criminals. I have the big heart. Can you see it? Because I know it's kind of shiny. Let me see. Can I take this plastic off? I got it from the used bookstore. So they put it in this plastic stuff, but let's see, can you see that? I'll see if I can, there we go. Big hard sex criminals. They're so funny. Look at the back. For mature readers, no. This is by Matt Fraction, is the writer, and Chip Zdarsky is the artist. This was ridiculous and so much fun. I've been hearing about Sex Criminals for a while and I was like, I don't know. But honestly, I saw this book and it was pretty. I like the color. It's so pretty that I was like, it's a good price. Let's pick it up. And I'm so glad I did. It was hysterical. This is hysterical. It's about two people who, when they orgasm, together or separately, time stops. And so, as one would do, you say, well, when time stops, let's go rob a bank. No. Well, they attempt to do this. I don't remember exactly, but if they did it successfully a few times, but when they go for the big kahuna, when they go for the big money, they run into some people who have a similar condition to them. And one of the women, the leader is a woman, and they affectionately name her Kegel Face, mostly because she looks like she's real tight. And second, she's walking around with a Kegel bead medallion on the necklace. And I was like, girl, what? She was like, she is ridiculous. And when you see how her life is, You're like, yeah, you a hot mess, girl. No wonder you so uptight. It is ridiculous. It is funny. It is it's charming and sweet. It really is kind of disarming. You know, the subject matter and some of the imagery might, if you're really uptight about that kind of thing, could kind of set you off. But honestly, it really is so charming and funny and cute. And the art, I'm trying to show, no, I can't show that. But yeah, let's see, this looks good. The art is really nice. It's whimsical. It's whimsical and bright and cute. And that's what I mean by it's disarming. It has a lot of sexual overtones because she calls the when the time stops, she calls it I forgot, like the other world or something like that. But her boyfriend calls it cum world because, Lord, men, I swear, they keep it simple, don't they? No offense, guys, but really? It's funny. It's cute. I enjoy it. I plan to continue on. It is for mature readers, so if you are younger, I would not suggest this for younger readers, but it's fun. It's fun. If you can have a good time, if you can laugh at yourself and at other things, you'll definitely enjoy this. I really enjoyed that. And last, but certainly not least, I read Plastic. I believe this is written by Doug Wagner and the art is by Daniel Hillyard. This is Plastic. Oh my goodness. I'll just read the back. Retired serial killer Edwin Stoffgruppen is in love with Virginia, a girl he met online. Her affection quiets his vile urges. Together they tour the back roads of America in their LTD, eating donuts and enjoying their healthy appetites for each other. Life is good until a Louisiana billionaire kidnaps Virginia, forcing Edwin to kill again in exchange for her freedom. Oh, and did we mention that Virginia is a sex doll? I mean, look at this. This is Edwin in here, in her mouth. Robert Kirkman says it best. This is the weirdest shit I've ever read. Edwin is a serial killer. I don't know how he was surfing the web and he ran across sweet Virginia here, but he's in love with her. He hears her speaking, as among others he hears speaking, and he is completely and 100% devoted to Virginia and all of her needs. And then somebody does something really, really stupid because they don't know who they messing with, and they abduct Virginia. And then they try to double down on that and get Edwin to do something for them. You know, this is just like, what's that movie Keanu Reeves just did where somebody kills his dog and he goes crazy? Yeah, that's basically what this is. This is a one-shot. This is not a series. This is a standalone graphic novel. And it's insane. There's a lot of violence in here. There's a lot of violence. There's some triggering events like rape or abuse. So if those things are triggering for you, I would not suggest this. Again, though, there's humor to it. I wouldn't say Edwin is likable per se, but he has, I hate to use this because this is stealing from another piece of work, but a code in a sense. Very much like Dexter-esque. Not that he kills only bad people, but Edwin was like, don't start none, won't be none. He gets his revenge and he leaves no stone unturned. I mean, he's sitting there, they're going off at the mouth, and he is like taking copious mental notes of almost every detail in this place. So he knows where he needs to come back to in order to find these people. I mean, it's just eerie, and there's funny and gross at certain points, and it's a little disturbing on a certain level, but altogether, it really works. I kind of wish there was a second one. I don't want to give the ending away because I feel like there could be more to the story. I definitely would like to see a prequel to this. Like, how did he get here? Because he doesn't seem like the type of guy who goes on the internet that often to me. Boy, this has been me scattered all over the place. I really need to stop drinking coffee before I do these videos. I swear. My camera shut off. In any case, I think I need to wrap this up because my camera is overheating. So, what did you guys think? Have you read any of these stories? How did they resonate with you? What did you think of Alex and Ada? Because I really would like to get somebody else's perspective on that, because as I said before, I felt it was kind of shallow. And also, what did you think of Plastic? Has anybody read this? Has anybody read anything else by Doug Wagner? Is this his writing style? Does he write out, you know, kind of weird and eclectic and like in your face stories like this? Because if so, I might need to look up his stuff and see what else he got. I might do that anyway. But that's it. Again, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I always appreciate the support, and thank you for all the new subscribers. I really haven't been paying that much attention, but thank you guys for subscribing. I do pay attention to the comments. I read all the comments, but I hadn't been paying attention to the subscriber count, so I didn't really know. I mean, you know, it's not out of this world, but it was way more than I thought that I would ever get for people to hear me ramble about comics. So thank you. I really do appreciate it. And next up, I hope that I'll get my Loot Crate core box for March, and it'll probably come the same week as my Loot Crate box for April, but hey, it'll just be a bunch of videos about unboxings. And I already picked up some books for this month, April, for me to read. April, that's me. And so hopefully I'll have a lot of good things to share with you next month. So thank you guys for watching again. Check out some of my other videos. Hope you find some things you like there too, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.